Welcome to our inaugural edition of Bearcats Unleashed. This is a new series that's going to spotlight our student athletes on campus. I'm Scott Cummings. I'm the moderator for today's edition. And fortunately, we have not one but two special guests with us. Joining us from women's basketball is Callie Pohlman, and from football is Shelby Benn. Now, we have them both not only because they're from high-profile programs and leaders on their teams, but they're leaders on campus as well. Shelby Benn has been the SGA President now for going on the last 3 years, and Callie Pohlman takes over as the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, or SAAC President, for this year in 2021. First of all, guys, thanks for joining us, and welcome to Bearcats Unleashed today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
No problem. Let's jump right into it. Obviously, the reason we're doing this by Zoom is COVID. I mean, the last 6 months have been very interesting. You guys being upperclassmen were around when all this hit. Talk about how you guys are doing right now, how you've been able to handle quarantine and going through this COVID crisis.
Well, it was kind of tough because we found out over spring break. So I know I was on a spring break trip when I found out. So then I came home obviously after that, and I loved spending time at home, honestly. Like it was a good time for me. It wasn't what I expected to be doing that summer, but we just kind of have to make the most of it. We got our schoolwork done, worked out a lot with my mom in the living room. I even ended up working at a grocery store in my hometown, so I stayed busy that way.
Me, it impacted a lot. I was able to, since we wasn't able to go out and do much, you were able to listen to a lot of people's stories. So I think by us having team meetings and stuff like that, and position group meetings, you was able to learn more people's stories and get more in depth and just listen, really. And so I picked up reading a lot more lately, not just the online type of stuff. I actually bought some hardcover books that I was interested in. I actually read some paper and stuff reading online. So that changed me. And honestly, just going down, doing some research myself. And so that's how it impacted me.
What was the toughest part going through? Obviously, this dragged out. It was really almost into the summer before restrictions were lifted. You guys were able to do things, not necessarily normally, but more into the pattern that you're used to. Talk about what was the toughest part going through that.
Sure. It was very humbling because you spend a lot of time like working on your craft, like getting better at your sport and doing all that. And the summer especially is a time that, for me, I work out all the time and I like to be in the gym shooting and stuff like that. So it was really hard not to be able to do that. And especially like in Wisconsin for a while, it was still really cold, so I couldn't even go outside and do much. So that was kind of a struggle for me. And it kind of like hit me that like, okay, my sport doesn't define me, like it's just something I do. It's not who I am. So kind of just staying grounded in who I am as a person and not trying to be so affected by that because, you only play your sport for 4 years in college, so you kind of have to get used to that. But once stuff started opening up, it was really nice to be able to get outside, shoot in my driveway. Our YMCA's opened up a little bit too, so I was able to go there and work out. So that was really nice for me.
For me, yeah, I had to deal with more like stress and stuff. Like normally I do it with football, running, and lifting and stuff like that. So I wasn't able to lift, so I was able to do a lot more running. And so in order for me to subsidize for the lifting part, I made my own weight bench with some wood and stuff like that, and got me a weight bench, and I was able to lift. Okay. So then I was able to lift. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So I was able to lift and make my own weight benches and stuff like that, and that was pretty interesting. Made a couple failures, but it worked out at the end of the day, and getting to know a lot more people.
One thing did you guys learn about yourself during this time of quarantine and really not being able to do much? Maybe a new trait, new habit, or something like that. But what did you guys learn about yourselves?
I would have to say just time management, and obviously that's something you learn as you go throughout college, but it was really weird having a lot more time on my hands in the spring when we were doing school online. I was at home, couldn't really do anything. So just making sure I was staying up on my schoolwork and not just like sleeping, watching TV all the time. Um, and just kind of like I mentioned before, like with basketball, just being confident in who I am as a person, getting better as a leader, trying to reach out to my team a little more, just because we weren't face to face and stuff like that. So just trying to stay connected with the team that way, and being the best leader I could be.
Me, I say it was a lot of self-reflection. So I was able to like see what I can build upon myself to make me a better person. And so I actually took up the hobby of gardening over the summer. So that worked out pretty good. My tomatoes worked out and it came together. My peppers kind of failed on me at the end, but it was looking promising at one point. So I took up gardening, and I like that. It was a pretty good success and taught me patience. And so I think that was one thing. And being away from my teammates, because normally in the summer we all come together and we work out for the upcoming season. It was kind of tough. So I think gardening kind of helped me self-reflect and taught me patience.
Sounds like you're starting to put together your own training table right there. That's good. That's some good stuff right there from both of you. You touched on academics. Obviously, that was a brave new world for both of y'all, going through the online classes, having to finish the last half of the spring semester that way. Talk about that experience.
It was certainly different. For me, I didn't have too much more like extra work to do, because I'm a biology major, so a lot of like my labs and stuff kind of got cut, or it was just like not as much time. So I really kind of had less work than I probably would have in class. But it still was hard not being able to like be in class with professors and like asking questions one-on-one, which Zoom definitely helped with that, and like obviously a lot of emails and stuff. But it was a challenge. Like we certainly don't come to college expecting to be all online, so it was different.
Yeah, it was. Mine's I wasn't really good at typing, none of that type of stuff. So it actually, I think the whole quarantine helped me improve. I can type without looking now, so I think that was something good. That was a good takeaway from it. But other than that, it was interesting because I'm normally used to a set time, wake up, practice in the morning, afternoon, work, evening, workout again, and then classes and in between. But not having no set schedule and everything being online for me, it was kind of tough. It taught you determination, really. So you have to wake up in the morning and, okay, let's see what new assignments is today. See how fast you can get your typing time down. I think I'm a professional typer at this point. I can type without looking. I'm pretty good at it now. So,
Hey, if you're a professional typer, we might have to put you to work over here. Now, looking ahead to what you guys do on campus. Now, Shelby, you were president for 2 years, and then got reelected again. So this is your third year. Talk about being away from the campus and not being able to work on some of the initiatives that the SGA had planned for the rest of the semester.
Yeah, that was difficult. We had some big stuff about to be rolled out and stuff, helping students. And then when we all got pushed back, it changes a lot of stuff. So at that point, you came from just wanting to help people with just by putting new fountains, water bottle fountains and stuff like that, or new initiative by helping with parking and something like that. And you have to push towards helping people with COVID and helping people with bright space and stuff like that, because we switched over systems at a time when we all got pushed back. So I had a lot of phone calls asking me how you work bright space. And I wasn't really good at bright space myself, so we had to figure it out together. So that was something that SGA pretty much working on the movement and stuff like that for equality for all and the Black Lives Matter movement. I feel like that was good, and I had a lot of good conversations with people in the administration. So that was huge.
And Callie, you've been involved in SAAC for the last few years as well, and you've moved up the ranks, taking over as president this year. Obviously, not having that last half of the spring semester probably hurt the planning process for 2020-21.
Yeah, the spring is when we do usually like our big end of the year banquet. So that was pretty unfortunate that we couldn't do that. And a lot of planning goes into that. So even for this year, I don't even know if that will be something we can do. Otherwise, I'll maybe like try and do something online. So, and even in the spring too is kind of when we regroup, figure out who's graduating, which teams need to bring in new representatives, who's going to fill the officer positions and stuff like that. And then even now with Chuck stepping down, Beth Bowers, I think, is going to possibly be helping us with SAAC. So we kind of just need to get started here in probably the next month or so. So I haven't really been able to do much, obviously, because we're not in person and just a lot of new people. So, and we're not really like doing sports right at the moment. So that kind of doesn't help, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to kind of get going here in the next couple months.
How are you guys handling the fact that right now we're not in a true sports season per se? Because Shelby right now would be in the heart of practice getting ready to begin a football season. And I know basketball would be getting workouts soon.
It makes you think. Honestly make you think, like, right now I'll be in a meeting. So it'll be like right now I'll be in a position group meeting or a team meeting trying to prep for week one again. And it's just weird. It's like I can't really put in words, but it's just something weird. Like, okay, I'm finna start my senior year in college and my junior year on the football field. And it's just tough. It's just tough because you really do want to be out there playing for your team, representing the purple. And it's just tough because you can't do that. It got pushed back. So,
yeah, we feel the same. We would be in preseason right now, so we would be doing like 6 a.m. lifts Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and conditioning Tuesday, Thursday with Coach Fark, and then we would usually have either open gym, individual workouts, or like a team practice in the afternoon. So that's like working out 2 to 3 times a day, which we're not doing at all. So, and it's tough not being in the gym. So we kind of just have to do stuff on our own, whether that be running, doing some kind of like Nike workout or something like that. So it's kind of how we're staying busy right now.
Final question for you guys. What's your biggest hope for the 2020-21 academic year?
I would have to say I just recently submitted my application for physical therapy school. So probably my biggest goal is to hopefully get accepted to one of the schools that I applied to. And then obviously just finishing out the year strong, graduating. It's really exciting, kind of nerve-wracking, but it's an exciting time.
Yeah, I'll say mine's is hopefully since I got more free time on my hands, hopefully I can make the president's list this year. And so other than that, actually get on the football field and play an actual game against someone else wearing different colors. And the third thing is hopefully I get some of these internships I applied for. So, yeah.
Well, Shelby, Callie, it's been great talking with you. I want to thank you for joining us for the inaugural edition of Bearcats Unleashed. And good luck to you this year, not only in your sports, but in your leadership roles, because we know you'll do a great job.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Well, that's been our inaugural edition of Bearcats Unleashed. I'm Scott Cummings. Thanks for joining us, and have yourselves a Bearcat day.